that I personally would want to establish in the Commission on Human Rights, and that is the Human Rights Early Warning System, Human Rights Defenders Protection Mechanism. It's all-in-one program for purposes of supporting human rights defenders for the protection and promotion of human rights in the country.
Madam Chair, I was looking at their listing of 10. We would like to also have, especially, Madam Chair, the item number 6, Infrastructure Development Project
Yes.
for enhancement of Justice Central Office, and of course the regional offices, which is 82 and 29. If this can also be clarified and send us the rationale for this. But then confidential fund, we're very, very, these are things that are very for us, no, alarming. But we that's number 9, so it's in the last, so no problem.
Yes.
So we will please have this also, the strengthening of this infrastructure development project. Enhancement, justice, that is what we have, justice.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just to highlight, Your Honor, the point of the Honorable Rodriguez, for 36 or 37 years of existence, Your Honor, the Commission on Human Rights has not established its own structure. We have built regional offices through the help of external funding, but for the central office, there's no building of its own. We're still using an old structure in the UP complex.
I think that should be first. Let us establish an edifice where they can work properly and fight against human rights abuse, Madam Chair. So that's one. How much will that cost?
We have not conducted study yet, Your Honor, because we are not seeing it as a mere reality, Your Honor. But with the suggestion of the Honorable Kong Rodriguez, we can study and plan and submit to you a proposal for the building, Your Honor.
Yes, it should be as tall as the Napolcom. They are the violators. So you should be able to check them by a bigger building, di ba? Madam Chair, that my time, the bell has rung, and so I follow the rules. And once again, in the proper time, I will be moving for the approval of the CHR budget as presented by NEP, plus the additional requirements as submitted by the CHR. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Your Honors.
Thank you, Representative Rufus, for your very strong support sa CHR. Manifesting para sa inyong central office na mas malaki pa daw po sa Napolcom. Tama po ba yun? Okay. Next, I would like to acknowledge Representative Dada Ismula.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Magandang tanghali po sa ating Commission on Human Rights. Good afternoon to my colleagues. I just have few questions lang naman, just clarifications. In Mindanao, particularly in BARM and other conflict-affected areas, communities face multiple threats and vulnerabilities, including armed conflict, displacement, poverty, and discrimination. How is the Commission on Human Rights ensures that it fulfills its mandate in geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas?
Magandang hapon po.
Yes.
Tulad po ng nasabi ko kanina, meron po kaming regional offices spread all over the country. I think in the BARM areas, we have 4 regional offices covering the area. Kung babalikan po natin, ang BARM po ay meron pong Bangsamoro Human Rights Commission. Meron po silang sariling Human Rights Commission covering the area of BARM. Pero kami po bilang National Human Rights Institution, we cover the entire country, kasama po yung BARM area. So sa BARM, meron po kaming, tulad na nasabi ko, meron po kaming 4 na regional offices. So kung meron pong mga pangyayari doon sa mga areas na yon, we also deploy investigators upang mag-imbestiga. And we also, actually meron po kaming partnership with the Bangsamoro Human Rights Commission on human rights promotion. So it's more of a capacity building activity. And so if it would help, Your Honors, in 2024, we conducted a monitoring activity on Muslim women.
Okay.
Then we also conduct legal clinic caravans in geographically isolated
Jida.
disadvantaged areas.
Okay. Naitanong ko po yun kasi previously from my work, na-assign po ako sa Jida area. And mostly, may mga armed conflicts doon. However, hindi nare-report. So that's why natanong ko po siya. Now, second question is the CHR adequately resourced to monitor human rights violation in these areas? Nasagot nyo na po. However, another question, what urgent budgetary support is needed para po masuportahan din po namin?
Yung ilan po sa mga na isubmit po namin under Tier 2 budget proposal. But isa ho sa numero 1 talaga na tulong na may bibigay po sa atin ng Kongreso ay yung pagpasa po ng aming charter. Kasi yun po yung magpapalakas ng gusto sa Commission on Human Rights, not only with regard to its mandate, which is investigative mandate, which is limited to civil political rights. Doon po sa charter na yung palalawakin po sana siya to cover also economic, social, cultural rights. Tapos madadagdagan po sana kami ng manpower and budget, especially yung amin pong fiscal autonomy sa charter na yun.
Okay, thank you for that. Another question is for a different topic. What systems currently exist to document human rights violations committed by armed groups and non-state actors in BARM, Palawan, and Mindanao, especially in light of CHR 2024 data showing that out of 1,510 respondents, 366 were non-state actors and 17 were members of armed groups?
So ang method po natin for monitoring yung pong mga insidente ay through yung traditional po na actual investigation na kung saan pupunta ho ang ating mga investigador do sa lugar upang tignan at alamin kung ano yung mga pangyayari. Meron po kaming improvement sa aming system sa ngayon. We have developed yung MISMO or Management Information System Monitoring Outlet, which is an online platform for receiving or filing complaints and requests for assistance, kung saan po pwede na pong mag-login ng mga tao at magsampa ng reklamo sa Commission on Human Rights through that online platform. And ngayon po ay i-deploy na rin namin yung aming enhanced ICMS or enhanced investigation case management system, kung saan makakapture po lahat ng data na patungkol po sa mga investigasyon ng paglabag sa karapatang pantao.
Yeah. Thank you. Pero i-note din po, yes po.
Karagdagan pa po, ang komisyon po ay nagtatag ng IHL task force na pinamumunuan ko upang tignan po at imbestigahan yung mga paglabag sa international humanitarian law, specifically focused on non-state armed conflict.
Okay. Thank you for that, sir. Another question pertaining to another topic naman po. Thank you for all of the answers you have provided. One pressing concern is the reported harassment of indigenous people in Balabac. I am actually an IP. Allegedly by private security forces linked to San Miguel Corporation. Another is the escalating threats against the non-Moro indigenous people or the NMIPs in South UPI, Maguindanao del Sur, where indigenous leader Fernando Promboy was found brutally murdered earlier this year. Now, the question is the CHR aware of this incident and what steps have been taken to investigate and respond? Thank you.
Up. Opo, maraming salamat po. Yun pong mga nabanggit niyong mga insidente ay nakarating sa Commission on Human Rights. Nag-conduct na po ng dialogue. Inimbestiga po. Nag-imbestiga na rin po ang ating mga investigators sa mga ito. At nagkaroon po ng dialogue para malaman kung ano po yung mga dapat gawin.
Apo. Madam Chair, last question po. Is it possible po ba na makahingi ng updates dun sa naging investigation?
Yes po. Ibibigay po namin sa inyo yung updates tungkol dito.
Then, I think may time pa ba ako? One more, pasingit na lang po. What specific investments are needed to ensure the safety, protection, and accountability of the indigenous communities facing this violence po? Sa tingin niyo po ba anong magandang investments na maaaring gawin ng inyong agency po na to protect them?
Una po yung strengthening yung commission. Nabanggit ko po kanina yung Human Rights Early Warning System and Human Rights Defenders Protection Mechanism. Ito ho yung mekanismo kung saan mas matutugunan ng maaga at maagap ng komisyon yung mga issues at mga pangyayari ng paglabag sa karapatang pantao. We envision this mechanism as a whole of government kung saan i-involve po sana natin yung mga concerned agencies of the government upang maging katuwang namin sa pagtugon or pag-prevent ng paglabag sa karapatang pantao. Ganon din po ay magiging parte ang civil society sa mekanismong ito upang magkaroon ng avenue for discussion among the stakeholders, ang ating pong pamahalaan at ang ating civil society, gayon din ng Commission on Human Rights ay uupo at pag-uusapan kung ano mga issues at humanap ng kasagutan at solusyon sa mga ito.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Lastly po, singit ko na lang din yung top 10 priority ninyo. Isa po kasi dito yung number 1 na minention ninyo na gustong-gusto ninyo sanang na i-focus or ma-priority yung expansion ng financial assistance, di ba? Kasama po ba dito sa expansion ng financial assistance yung mga naging victims po natin ng napagkamalan lamang? Na, for example, napagkamalan silang Abu Sayyaf, napagkamalan silang NPA, pero hindi naman.
Basta po mayroong paglabag. Ang kondisyon lamang po sa pag-award namin ng financial assistance ay paglabag sa karapatang pantao.
Okay. Kasi po may 2 cases po kami in Zamboanga City wherein isa pong imam at saka isa pong magsasaka sa Zamboanga. Ang nangyari po sa kanila ay napagkamalan silang Abu Sayyaf, pero after 7 years, nirelease po sila ng korte. So siguro naman po may ibibigay financial assistance sa kanila yung CHR kapag ito ay priority ninyo. Tama po?
Tama po. Hingin po namin sa inyo yung detalye
details.
nitong mga kasong ito.
Yes po, kasi that was like 4 years ago, up to now wala po silang natatanggap. Yun po.
Sige po.
Sige po. Salamat po. Salamat,
Maraming
Madam
salamat,
Chair.
Madam Chair, Your Honors.
Thank you po, Representative Dada Ismula. Next po, I would like to recognize Representative Salvador Pleito.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Our dear colleagues and our guests. Ako, Human Rights Commission. Magandang hapon po. Mayroon akong mga itatanong ngayon. Halos na itanong na ni Chairman Mika kanina ang mga tanong natin. But I'd just like to know, Chairman Richard, yung tungkol sa 90% ba yung narinig ko yung budgetary, yung budget utilization rate in the previous fiscal year? 90% ba yun? Were there any significant unused appropriations?
100% BUR.
100% na? Okay. Congratulations. But another thing is, are there any special laws or additional responsibilities delegated to the CHR that are not currently funded? Is CHR seeking special funding for these additional responsibilities?